dear students and listeners. So I am going to discuss on a very important topic, that is social justice. Social justice is no doubt a fundamental right. All of you know that a man is a social animal. A man without the society or state cannot live, but he who demands that he may live without the state or society, I think he may either be a beast or a god. But it is our responsibility or it is our duty to cooperate, to render services to our fellow beings in our locality, because you are not yourself alone. I am not myself alone. You, myself, he, they, in this way, we all live in a particular society. So we are animals. We are social animals. Political scholars say that we are also political animals, because human beings have conscience. We have power to think. We have power to decide. We are also rendering our services to our fellow downtrodden people. So cooperation, coordination, collaboration, so these are the adjectives. These are not adjectives, but these adjectives are really found in our society. A man wants to live peacefully, happily. He wants to lead a better life in the society where he resides. In order to maintain a better social life, a man or woman requires food, shelter, and cloth. These are, in political science, in the language of political science, are three minimum economic necessities, or otherwise they are also called bare necessities of human beings. If we cannot be provided with these three minimum economic necessities, we cannot lead a better life. We cannot lead a peaceful life. Ultimately, we may lose our happiness, gladness. So, a society is an assimilation of a lot of human beings. Some are rich, some are poor, some are downtrodden, some are backward, some people are educated, uneducated. So, all the people are assembled in a society. Therefore, it is the responsibility or a duty of the state is to uplift such people from their poverty, from their backwardness, from their inefficient qualities. So there is a lot of scopes, opportunities, facilities for them. But in order to make, in order to give a chance of uplifting them, it is the duty of the state to make provisions, laws, rules for their inner development, for their all-round development. Suppose nowadays we treat right to education right to economic rights, right to life, right to form a family, right to settle at a particular place with other fellow beings in a peaceful manner. These are also requirements. Simultaneously, the state must have to fulfill such requirements. So, if you are rich but you are not educated, if you are poor but there is no facilities to wipe out your poverty, so what happens? Definitely, you become poor and poorer. A rich person becomes rich and richer. There is a distinction. There is a heaven and hell difference between poor and rich people. So this distinction should be avoided. There cannot be maintained the distinctions on the grounds of caste, creed, date of creed, nativity, or place of birth, language, sex, religion, etc. Irrespective of all, we learn that we are all human beings and we are treated as social animals. So, all over the world, the human beings must require to such category. For example, in India, our constitution has provided three justices: economic justice, political justice, and also social justice. In the social field, our government tries its level best to uplift the people, those who are under poverty, below poverty line, as well as it also ensures economic justice. So, right to work, right to leisure, right to live in a particular place. So these are the economic rights. Political rights, everybody knows it. One man, one vote. So three justices are enshrined in the preamble part of our constitution. So whatever it may be, in the society or in a state, we have to maintain the parity. You may be a rich person already, you may be a rich, no matter. I may be a poor, that doesn't matter. But the duty of the state is to maintain parity between the rich people and the poor people. If the parity is in continuity, what happens? The state is improving better. From time to time, much more progressive plans must be settled and executed for the improvement of the less privileged people. But in Indian society, we have given better opportunities or privileges to scheduled tribe, scheduled caste people, minority groups. So we, from time to time, make certain rules and regulations. So that is social justice. Social justice is to be provided by the state governments as well as state governments through the machinery of the constitution. So as we are adopting democratic form of government, democracy is the core heart of Indian masses. So we hold elections on alternate of every 5 years. We send our representatives to the union legislatures as well as the state legislatures. So on behalf of the common masses, our legislatures, parliamentarians raise the voice for the fulfillment of the common grievances of the people. So, under the common grievances of the people, social justice is one of them. So society and the state intervention, there is no state intervention. Rather, the state has to make or frame many progressive plans, many progressive laws for the all-round development of the common people. So it is the social justice. Social justice always helps the people living in a particular state or society for inner development. If myself is provided with all such requirements, what happens? I must be allegiate, I must be obedient to my state. I must have patriotism. I must raise my voice at the time of state crisis. I must extend my cooperation to the government of my state or my society or country better. But if I am under poverty, if I am under torture, oppression and suppression, I must think of myself. Vibhukitam king karanti na papam. I always seek for food. I always fight for my survival. So how can I think of the state? How can I derive the patriotic feelings in my heart? So in order to give the common people such type of facilities or privileges, then I think in my sense social justice is there. Thank you.